we have a full moon in Aquarius at 16 degrees. If you're from Australia like me, it'll be on the 9th of August at 5:55 p.m. Yes, an angel number. Now, Aquarius is an air sign, it's fixed air. So they can often see the bigger picture and they can see things really clearly. So we know that this full moon is going to be very intellectual, logical and detached. It is going to be about humanity doing the humanitarian thing, community, technology, innovation and change, rebellions, and being very quirky and authentic. It also rules over things to do with science, astrology, including outer space and aliens, things to do with the sky, and it is ruled by Saturn in traditional astrology and Uranus in modern astrology. Now, Uranus recently in July just moved into Gemini, another air sign, while Saturn just moved into Aries back in May. Now, it's also important to remember that both Mercury retrograde is in Leo with this full moon, and Pluto is in Aquarius with this full moon as well. Now, remembering a full moon is when the moon in Aquarius is opposite the sun in Leo at the exact same 16-degree point. And so I really feel like Mercury being in Leo and Pluto being in Aquarius are also going to add some themes and flavor to this full moon. Themes of transformation, a lot of themes around celebrities, maybe even some things that are a little bit confusing around the royal family, celebrities, leaders, because of that Mercury retrograde in Leo. But also a lot about social media and tech giants. You know, like Elon Musk, people that have strong Aquarius and Leo placements are going to be really, really in the forefront at this full moon. Because full moons are a completion. They're a cycle ending, finishing off. With full moons, everything is illuminated. It can be seen for what it is, and you can see the truth, you can see everything clearly. Now, although it doesn't impact this full moon directly, by aspect, there is a lot going on at the same time. So if you actually look at this chart, there is an aspect called a kite that is in this full moon chart. And essentially, pretty much all of the big outer planets that have recently just shifted sign are all involved in this. You have Mars that's recently moved into Libra at that very early degree, one degree point. You have Uranus at that 1 degree point that's just moved into Gemini. You have Saturn and Neptune at that 1 degree point in retrograde that are in Aries that have only just recently moved there. You have Pluto in the very early degrees of Aquarius. So they are all forming this aspect called a kite. And not only that, there is a grand trine in the air signs. And that is because with Mars in Libra, an air sign, Pluto in Aquarius, an air sign, and Uranus in Gemini, an air sign, they are all setting trines to each other because they're all in the first 2 degrees of those air signs. So this is a grand air trine, again pushing forward with information, logic, and intellect being extremely important this full moon and for the next few months after this as it all unfolds. Because remember, this energy will be active for, a few months afterwards, even up until the next new moon. Or you could even check the cycle of when the next Aquarius new moon is, because the energies will still kind of unfold around that time. You will see events very, very close to the full moon, but you'll also still see those subtle unfoldings of events and information that's going to happen and occur over the next few months after the full moon. And so, as I said before, keep an eye on those prominent people with Aquarius and Leo placements around that 16-degree mark. Obviously, the Leos are going to feel this a lot, especially close to that 16-degree mark, because this will be in an opposition with their placements in Leo. Whereas Scorpio and Taurus placements around that 16 degrees, they are going to be forming a square to this full moon, so they will feel it the most intensely and probably have the most challenges. But do check your own natal chart, and I do readings, so if you'd like to know more about your chart or have a reading, I can send you the information of my prices and different readings. I can email that through to you. Obviously, the air signs are going to have a good time because they're setting trines, so your Geminis and your Libras around that 16-degree mark. Whereas the Aries and Sagittarius placements around 16 degrees will send a sextile to this full moon, which is quite nice. It's all about supports and opportunities. I would keep a close eye on people with strong Aquarius placements, but the people that are kind of springing to my mind, and I might do a bit of a follow-up after this, but I keep an eye on Elon, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ashton Kutcher, just to name a few. But as I said, I'll put up some more posts about other celebrities and people to keep an eye on. I often do write some really informative content over on Patreon and Substack, so definitely check them out for more information if you like reading.